Cuauhtemoc Martinez developed severe depression when he was deported to Tijuana last year. He had lived in the U.S. for as long as he could remember and saw Mexico as a dangerous place.
I was scared. I'm still scared. Sometimes I wake up scared.
In December, he lost all hope and tried to kill himself. He threw himself in front of a speeding car.
It's because I thought I was not going to make it here in Mexico. And I just wanted to end my life. My knee was all messed up. My back, my face was all stitched up. When I woke up, the doctor was all, it's a miracle. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't want to be alive.
Martinez is among a rising number of Mexican deportees suffering from mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. Few of them are receiving treatment. The largest wave of deportations in U.S. history has been putting a strain on mental health resources in Tijuana, which receives at least 40% of the country's deportees. But while Martinez was recovering from his injuries at a migrant shelter called Desayunador Salesiano, he met volunteer psychologist Maria Rosa Ponciano. Ponciano says the increase in mental health problems among deportees is tied to the fact that most of them had established roots in the U.S.
They lost their family, they lost their home, they lost their job. But they come here and this country doesn't even give them what is their right.
She says many of her patients report feeling rejected and sometimes criminalized by Mexicans.
They feel they're people without a right to live. I'm worthless. I can't go over there. I can't be here. What am I here for? I want to die.
Yeah, we're just going to repair them, just put new ones, new cabinets.
In the U.S., Martinez had worked as a supervisor at a Utah food packaging plant.
And this is pretty much a map that I made.
He tried to get a similar office job in Tijuana, but he was turned down everywhere because he had no identification papers.
So I was not in the Mexican records my birth certificate wasn't there.
Martinez was among hundreds of deportees who ended up living in El Bordo, a homeless encampment in a drainage canal that was evacuated last month. In the city's latest response to its mental health crisis, the Tijuana mayor sent everyone who was living there to drug rehabilitation centers.
I slept a couple times. I slept there with the coldness. It was really cold. I thought I was going to die. I seen people, what they were doing. And this is what is left of me sweeping this parking lot.
Because he couldn't find an office job, he was forced to work in construction.
And it was really hard for me because I suffered from asthma, and the heat was getting to me. And it was like, when I got home, I thought my heart was going to pass out. It was a nightmare.
The nightmare culminated when he says police officers assaulted him and took all of his money. That was the day before he tried to kill himself.
Me han golpeado, me han quitado el dinero.
At the shelter, Ponciano offered him free therapy and gave him a job cleaning up some apartments she owns in Playas de Tijuana.
This is where I live, right?
She lets him stay in one of the apartments for free.
This is what she brings me, groceries from the U.S. I don't think about the U.S. much when I'm working. When I'm here, I feel more peace.
Ponciano says she prescribes occupational therapy for that reason.
And this is the power boxes that we're working on. We take this apart.
So that they'll feel useful, so they know they're not garbage from the U.S., because that's how they feel.
Shelters like Desayunador Salesiano are organizing workshops to keep migrants busy and ease their mental health problems. Among those is a contemplative dance workshop. There's also a puppet-making workshop. Shelter director Oscar Torres says a big increase in deportees with mental health problems and the lack of formal infrastructure to treat them has forced his migrant shelter to improvise new ways to help.
If we want to attend to the deportation problem at a human level, then we have to attend them at emotional and psychological levels.
The only place where penniless deportees can get thorough psychiatric treatment in Tijuana is called Hospital de Salud Mental. The director of hospitalizations says he's seen an increase in deportees with chronic depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and even psychosis.
Cuando una persona se somete a estrés demasiado fuertes, como puede ser una deportación,
when a person is exposed to intense stress, like deportation, that can cause changes in a state of mind, in thinking, and in memory, and it has a fundamental biological component.
Y sí tiene un componente primordialmente biológico.
But not all deportees can get treatment at the hospital. deportees often lack the documentation needed to access El Seguro Popular, a public health insurance that allows them to get treatment.
This is my clothes, some of my clothes.
Martinez says antidepressants make him feel better, but they're expensive and he often runs out of the medicine.
I'm living on a building up in Playas, and sometimes I go to the third building and I see everything. I see the ocean and I see how people have the cars, how they're living a great life. And me, I'm miserable. I'm miserable here in Mexico. And I looked down on the building and I said, I can just end my life right now.
He says Ponciano is his only hope.
Pues me ha ido bien.
But Ponciano says she can't always be there. She has so many other deportees who need help.
La deportación, la discriminación.
Jean Guerrero, KPBS News.